If you have ever paused mid-step because a simple glint of light felt like it was looking back at you, if you have ever stared through a window and sensed the scene beyond it arranging itself with intent, if silence itself has ever tapped your shoulder and asked you to pay attention, then you already know why you are here. There is a current moving toward you now, subtle, intelligent, exact, and it has chosen the most ordinary, least suspicious doorway to reach you. Your eyes. The real chosen ones are not marked by noise, titles, or spectacle. They are marked by the way they notice. While others hurry past the living script written in reflections and patterns, you feel the pull to linger, to look again, to let meaning step forward from the background and take its rightful place at the center of your awareness. That pull is not superstition. It is contact. Maybe you have felt the ache of not being believed. How do you explain that the room felt arranged, that a ray of sun spoke like a sentence, that a stranger's gaze carried a message with your name on it? Perhaps you have wondered whether you were imagining things, whether your sensitivity was a flaw to be managed rather than an instrument to be tuned. The pain beneath that wondering is real. To see and doubt yourself at the same time is exhausting. But there is a gentler truth waiting on the other side of the doubt. Guidance often arrives by choosing the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance is the sense you use without thinking, the one that meets you before words, sight. When heaven wants to be unmistakable without being loud, it writes on light, on patterns, on faces. And when your eyes begin to read what they once thought was blank, you are not losing your grip on reality. You are gaining your grip on it. So come close. Let your gaze soften the way it does when you stop trying to force meaning and allow meaning to find you. Imagine your eyes as open hands, steady and receptive, ready to receive exactly what is meant for you and only you. In the hours ahead, 3 angel signs will travel to you through what you see. Not as tricks to decode, not as puzzles to solve, but as living confirmations that you are recognized, accompanied, and ready. You will notice the way radiance lingers where it used to scatter. You will notice a motif repeating at the precise moment you needed courage. You will notice a human gaze, familiar and kind, carrying a sentence you have been waiting years to hear. And as this recognition strengthens, the old inner argument begins to dissolve. You will not need to convince yourself to believe, because the evidence will fit your life too cleanly to dismiss. Before we go further, allow me to place one simple invitation right where it belongs, inside the flow of what is already awakening in you. If this is striking a chord, if something in your chest has gone very still in that way it does when truth arrives, subscribe now so we can keep walking this path together. No noise, no pressure. Just a quiet agreement that when the next chapter is ready to meet you, it will find you. Your presence here turns a solitary sensitivity into a shared language. And in that language, the signs become easier to recognize, the guidance easier to trust, the courage easier to practice. What follows will not ask you to abandon reason. It will ask you to honor a fuller kind of reason, one that includes the intelligence of light, the timing of patterns, and the honesty of human eyes. We will begin where most journeys overlook, with the glimmer that refuses to be ordinary. And as we step into the first sign, let your vision rest the way a lake rests when the wind stops. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is what allows the message to appear. It begins with brightness, behaving like it has a memory of you. A shard of sunlight crawls across the wall and stops exactly at the photo you've been avoiding. The reflection on a subway window bends around your face and draws a halo, where logic says there should only be glass. Street lights flicker in a rhythm that feels uncomfortably precise, as if someone were knocking from the other side. You try to shrug it off, to file it under accident or optics. But something in you resists being dismissed. You are not chasing omens. You are being met by intelligence that prefers subtlety to spectacle. Light, in these moments, does not simply illuminate. It communicates. You notice it in the way certain glints do not scatter. They linger, as if waiting for your attention to catch up. You look away, and when you return, the radiance is still there. Patient, almost pastoral, inviting you to receive without rushing. This lingering is the first signature of angelic contact through sight. It does not grab. It holds. It does not overwhelm. It steadies. Where harsh light demands you squint, this light invites your entire nervous system to unclench. You feel the breath fall lower in your body. You feel the involuntary softening in your eyes, like the lens of a camera easing into focus. In that softening, a second signature appears: relevance. The glow is never random once you let yourself admit you are being addressed. It sits on objects that carry meaning you have postponed. It frames thresholds you have considered crossing. It draws a clean line under truths you promised to honor and then hid under busyness. The message is not coded. It is compassionate. Look, this matters. Give it your full sight. Reflective surfaces become accomplices in this language. Water holds an answer longer than steel. A storefront window doubles a scene so you can examine it safely, standing half out of it and half within. Even a phone screen, dimmed to near black, can catch a lamp and write a circle of light around an item that needs releasing, a letter, a key, a memento heavy with a story that has done its work. The point is not to decode every sparkle and glare. The point is to notice the moments when radiance organizes itself around a single subject, and your body responds with unmistakable calm. That calm is the third signature. Not goosebumps, not adrenaline, but a measured, grounded peace that says you have just been handed something you can live by. Skepticism will arrive on schedule. It will tell you optics are playing with you, that angles and dust are performing a trick. You need not argue with it. Simply place your skepticism beside the other data. Your timing, your questions, the sudden sense that you have been understood without speaking. When the same light returns across days or in different rooms to emphasize the same decision. When it repeats at the exact hour your mind circles the same theme. When its presence coincides with a stability you could not manufacture, that is not chance. That is choreography. And the choreography is mercifully simple. Look where it points, stay longer than you usually would, and let what you already know rise to the surface without being cross-examined. There is tenderness in learning to see this way. You will remember childhood afternoons when sun pooled on the floor and you trusted it without naming it. You will feel the distance between that ease and the adult who learned to rationalize every nudge until clarity had to shout to be heard. Light codes ask you to return to the earlier intimacy, not by abandoning reason, but by letting reason widen to include your body's yes. Notice how decisions feel different when made in the presence of that lingering glow. The sentence you were about to send reshapes itself with fewer apologies. The plan you were forcing loosens its grip and makes room for a more honest timeline. Even the way you step through a doorway changes. You do not rush past yourself when the threshold is ringed in gold. And if you ask, why sight? Why this quiet theater of radiance and reflection? The answer comes back as gently as it arrived. Because the eyes are the least defended of your gates when the heart is tired. You have learned to argue with ideas. You have learned to delay on instincts. But light slips past both and sits with you like an old friend, reminding you what your inner world looks like when it is not negotiating for its life. The more you allow this companionship, the more consistent the guidance becomes. A morning beam chooses the notebook instead of the news. A late afternoon shimmer lands on a pair of walking shoes instead of the couch. A small, faithful spot of brightness appears on the book you promised to finish. The application you promised to send, the instrument you promised to practice, the altar you promised to keep. It is not magic tricks. It is mercy with a glow. There will be days when clouds keep the sky closed and artificial lights carry most of the weight. The language does not stop. It adapts. Fluorescence will hum softer when you are in the right aisle. A desk lamp will reveal dust on an object you no longer need to be responsible for. The tiny LED on a device will pulse at the rhythm of your attention, asking you to question why this object can summon you faster than your own soul can. Again, you are not collecting curiosities. You are consenting to a way of being guided that refuses to turn your life into a scavenger hunt. The sign does not create the instruction, it confirms it. You already know. The light simply helps you admit it. Stand here a moment longer, in the pool that formed while you read. Feel how the eyes rest when they are not scanning for danger or performing importance. Feel how much is shown to the one who stops pretending they did not see. This is the first sign. Radiance with intention. Reflection with relevance. Illumination that lingers until you can say the quiet truth out loud. Once you say it, the light does what it always meant to do. It moves on, confident that the message has been delivered, and makes room for the next way you will be seen. There comes a point when what you see stops behaving like coincidence and starts behaving like language. You glance at the clock, 11:11. You shrug, and later, a receipt reads the same. Hours later, a license plate flashes with that same mirrored rhythm. You tell yourself not to overthink it, yet each repetition lands with a strange gentleness, like the universe tapping the same spot on your shoulder and whispering, "You're in alignment. Stay right here." Patterns are the universe's handwriting, and once you begin to see them, they are impossible to unsee. This is the second sign of the chosen ones, patterned vision. It's not superstition, it's synchronization. Numbers, shapes, arrangements. Each one becomes a brushstroke in a picture only you can interpret. It doesn't demand belief, it invites awareness. What's happening isn't that the world is suddenly rearranging itself for you. It's that your eyes have adjusted to a higher resolution of meaning. You've tuned into the frequency where matter and message meet. Every repeated symbol is a reminder that the invisible order has started to reveal itself through your gaze. You might see feathers where no wind could have placed them, or circles of light repeating on different days in different places. You might notice songs, words, or colors following you across separate moments, echoing a theme that matches your current struggle or prayer. The untrained mind calls it random. But when these sequences keep returning exactly when you are at crossroads, you realize that randomness has rhythm. The rhythm has timing, and the timing, when you stop resisting it, has grace. Numbers are the most common entry point because they're the purest symbols of rhythm. Repetition is how angels bridge the abstract with the physical. When you see 222 after making a difficult choice, it's not decoration, it's reassurance. When 333 appears in the middle of your fear, it's companionship. When 555 shows up as you're forced to release what you've outgrown, it's confirmation that the falling apart is really a rearrangement. But be careful not to turn these moments into superstition. Their power is not in the code, but in the calm that follows recognition. The sign is never the prize. The peace it delivers is. Beyond numbers, the patterning extends into motion. Watch how birds cross your path, how certain directions repeat themselves, how the same color insists on finding you, on packaging, on clothes, in the sky. Each recurrence is an affirmation that your inner world and the outer world are no longer separate. The mirror between them has gone translucent. You are co-writing reality now, not merely reacting to it. The danger is mistaking attention for obsession. The moment you start chasing signs, you break the flow that made them appear. Angelic communication depends on stillness, not scavenging. You are not meant to collect evidence. You are meant to live from recognition. When you see a sequence, let it stop you, not spin you. Breathe into the pause. Let the meaning download itself through sensation rather than thought. A softening in your chest, a drop in your shoulders, a quiet smile that arrives for no reason. That's the body's translation of divine patterning. This is how heaven speaks when words would be too heavy. It replays small, perfect symmetries until you remember you are not improvising life alone. The moment you start seeing sequences, life becomes less about control and more about choreography. You start trusting timing again. You start remembering that even detours have design. The chosen ones are not those who see more. They are those who stop pretending not to see. When patterns visit your eyes, they are not asking for analysis. They are asking for participation. So the next time you catch a number repeating or a symbol reappearing in impossible timing, don't rush to label it. Simply whisper, "I see you." That's all the universe ever wanted, to be witnessed by the very beings it designed to recognize it. This is the second sign. Repetition as revelation, sequence as reassurance, pattern as proof that your gaze has become an instrument of awareness. And just when you begin to feel fluent in this new visual language, another layer of seeing reveals itself. Not through reflections or numbers, but through the most human mirror of all, the eyes that meet yours. There are moments when you lock eyes with a stranger and time hesitates, as if something greater has just stepped into the space between you. The air grows dense but not heavy, familiar but unexplainable. It could happen at a crosswalk, in a coffee shop, during an ordinary conversation that suddenly feels extraordinary. You tell yourself it's nothing, that it's just a look. Yet deep down, you know that look carried a message no language could hold. This is the third and most intimate sign, the one that travels through the eyes of others. The universe uses human eyes because they are the only mirrors capable of returning your soul's reflection in motion. Light and numbers prepare you, but people deliver the message. Sometimes the messenger is someone you know, a friend who says a phrase so precisely timed it feels rehearsed by the divine. Sometimes it's a stranger whose glance lingers just long enough to awaken something you forgot existed. And sometimes it's your own reflection, looking back at you differently, reminding you that the divine doesn't only watch through you, it watches as you. When this happens, don't rush to define it. Stillness is the language of the sacred. Look again, not at them, but through them. Notice the way their eyes seem to hold more than one story at once. Compassion and challenge, memory and mystery, recognition and release. You might feel a warmth rise through your chest, or a sudden calm settle over your thoughts. That is the vibration of recognition. Your higher self greeting itself in another vessel. In those moments, there are no coincidences. The person before you might not consciously know the message they're delivering, but their energy has been temporarily borrowed by something greater than both of you. Angels rarely appear with wings. They appear with timing. They borrow faces that feel safe to your nervous system so that you will not turn away from what you most need to hear. Sometimes, the message is comfort, a reminder that you are seen, valued, forgiven. Other times, it's a challenge, a truth you've been avoiding returning to you through the honesty of another's eyes. Either way, it arrives in love. You'll notice that when these encounters occur, the world seems to blur at its edges. Sounds dim, colors soften, and for a heartbeat, only the exchange exists. That is how you know it's real. Energy rearranges itself to give the message room to land. You are witnessing consciousness folding in on itself, revealing that separateness was always an illusion. The person before you may walk away moments later, never realizing the magnitude of what just occurred. But you will. You will carry that gaze with you for days, replaying it, feeling its resonance, knowing you've just met another facet of the divine disguised as ordinary life. If you're wondering why this sign arrives last, it's because it requires the most maturity. To see the sacred in light or numbers asks only awareness. To see it in people asks forgiveness, humility, and courage. It asks you to meet humanity without armor. To recognize that the very souls who trigger you, challenge you, or test you might be the same ones heaven chose to guide you. Sometimes, an angel's message wears the face of conflict, because only discomfort can pry open the insight you've been resisting. But remember, angels never punish. They redirect. You might even feel this sign working backward in time as old memories surface. Faces from your past whose presence suddenly makes new sense. The teacher who once scolded you, but secretly saved you from a darker path. The friend who disappeared right when you needed solitude to grow. The stranger who smiled on the day you thought the world had forgotten you. These were all divine appointments you mistook for chance. Their eyes carried messages that your heart is finally mature enough to interpret. The purpose of this third sign is not to make you idolize anyone, but to reveal the sacred network connecting everyone. The more you see divinity looking through others, the less alone you feel in your mission. You stop seeking miracles and start embodying them. You realize that your own eyes too can become messengers. That when you meet someone lost in confusion, your calm gaze can serve as their sign. That is when the full circle completes. You no longer wait for angelic encounters. You become one. So the next time someone's eyes hold yours a little too long, don't break the contact out of awkwardness. Breathe. Receive. Say, silently, I'm listening. And know that in that instant, heaven has borrowed vision again to tell you something only your soul could understand. This is the third sign. When the angels stop showing themselves around you and begin showing themselves through you. And once you have seen that, there's no going back to blindness. Because now, every gaze holds a possibility. Every reflection, a message. Every meeting, a miracle waiting to be recognized. At first, you might think the signs are always external. Moonlight, patterns, faces. But the fourth revelation comes from within, and it's the hardest to ignore because it stares back from behind your own eyes. It begins quietly. You look at something ordinary, a reflection, a photo, a screen gone dark, and for a fraction of a second, you don't just see your face. You see someone watching through it. The eyes feel deeper, older, wiser, almost unfamiliar. You blink and everything returns to normal. But that glimpse lingers like a pulse beneath your skin. This is the fourth sign. When the universe stops showing you symbols around you and starts showing you yourself. The internal mirror. It's the moment your perception folds inward, revealing that the divine has been behind your eyes all along, learning to see through human limitation. It isn't about vanity or mysticism. It's about recognition. The angels that once sent you messages through the sky and through people now speak through your intuition, your micro-reactions, your instincts so immediate that words can't keep up. When this awakening happens, your perception changes texture. The world doesn't look brighter, it looks truer. You start catching yourself mid-thought, mid-judgment, mid-emotion, as if someone else in you is gently holding the reins, whispering, "Choose again." You might wake up one morning and feel a sudden peace that doesn't seem to belong to your circumstances. You might look at someone who once triggered you and feel nothing but compassion. You might realize that clarity no longer comes from analyzing, but from allowing. This isn't about developing psychic powers. It's about remembering that the same consciousness guiding the cosmos is breathing through you. The chosen ones are not chosen for privilege. They're chosen for perception. You become a vessel for divine awareness to observe itself in real time. The angels now communicate through your emotional intelligence. That shiver before a decision, that soft tug toward a person or path, that subtle resistance in your chest. All of it is dialogue. The universe has moved its conversation inside you. You'll also notice the discomfort that follows, because when you start seeing from within, you also see your own shadows more clearly. Every unhealed part of you begins to surface, not to punish you, but to request integration. You'll feel old memories return not as pain, but as teachers finally asking to be graduated. The eyes of your soul no longer flinch from discomfort. They look directly through it. The ego tries to run, but awareness has nowhere left to hide. That's the price of divine sight. Once you've seen the truth, pretending blindness is agony. But it's also liberation, because now you can discern what is yours and what isn't. What's intuition and what's fear. What's alignment and what's avoidance. You start trusting your yes without needing permission. You start saying no without guilt. You begin to feel that subtle hum in your chest whenever you're exactly where you're meant to be. An inner synchronization that feels like being looked at from the inside by something infinite and kind. People might say you look different, though they won't know why. It's because your gaze no longer searches, it recognizes. You've stopped trying to find signs outside and begun to live as one. The angels have moved from guiding your steps to guiding your sight. Every glance becomes a prayer. Every perception, a creation. This is the fourth sign, the inner awakening where your own eyes become sacred instruments, not to observe the world, but to translate heaven through the lens of your soul. You are not just the one who sees. You are the one through whom seeing itself has chosen to awaken. There comes a moment, after all the signs, all the awakenings, all the mirrors, when you realize something extraordinary. You're no longer just observing light. You're emitting it. This is the fifth and final sign, the full circle of sight. The chosen ones do not end their journey seeing more. They end it being more. And in this last revelation, vision itself becomes creation. It begins subtly. You think of someone, and within hours they reach out. You visualize peace, and suddenly the environment calms. You decide to forgive, and the weight around your life dissolves. You start to understand that reality is not happening to you. It's happening through you. Your eyes, now purified by awareness, are no longer passive windows. They are projectors. Whatever frequency you hold inside begins to echo in the physical world. It's not magic. It's resonance. The universe simply mirrors your inner order with exquisite precision. This is when your perception becomes sacred responsibility. Because now, every judgment, every fear, every ounce of gratitude carries creative weight. The chosen ones realize that thoughts are architecture, feelings are blueprints, focus is construction. You are constantly sculpting outcomes through the quality of your attention. When you look at someone and see potential instead of flaws, their energy shifts. When you wake with intention instead of dread, your day bends to meet it. The external world becomes obedient to the light you carry. And yet, this doesn't inflate the ego. It dissolves it. Because true creation doesn't come from control, it comes from coherence. You don't command reality by force, you harmonize with it. Every time you choose love where judgment once lived, a frequency changes across the invisible web connecting all beings. You begin to see how your smallest inner movement can ripple through countless unseen lives. That is what being chosen truly means. Not superiority, but stewardship. When you reach this level, the lines between seeing, knowing, and becoming blur. The same gaze that once searched for signs now births them. The numbers, the reflections, the eyes, they still appear, but now they're confirmations, not invitations. You are no longer chasing messages. You are the message, living, breathing, unfolding. And your greatest task becomes this: to protect your clarity, to guard your energy, to choose vision over reaction every single day. You'll notice that peace becomes your default, not because life stopped challenging you, but because your perception stopped distorting it. The storms still arrive, but you no longer identify as the rain. You've become the sky. And from that height, everything makes sense. The pain, the patience, the long silence before illumination. Every delay was preparation. Every ending was alignment. Every glimpse of light you ever received was training you to emit your own. This is the final sign, the return of light. The moment your sight stops reflecting and starts radiating, you no longer ask for miracles. You move as one. The universe no longer sends you guidance. It moves through your eyes, through your words, through your choices, through your quiet confidence that everything, every second, every soul, every sign, was never random. It was recognition waiting for you to awaken. So take a deep breath. You're not waiting for the angels anymore. You have become the vessel through which they see, speak, and create. That's the secret behind being truly chosen. You were never selected to be above anyone. You were awakened to remind everyone that they were chosen too. And as this understanding settles in your chest, remember this: every time you open your eyes tomorrow, you will not just be looking at the world, you will be looking with it. The divine has borrowed your vision again, not to show you the future, but to help you build it. Now, as the echoes of every sign begin to fade into stillness, something remarkable remains. A new kind of seeing, not the sight of curiosity, but the sight of remembrance. You stand at the quiet intersection between heaven and earth, between what was shown to you and what you are now capable of showing the world. Every moment, every reflection, every subtle shift in perception led here, to this calm awareness that the divine was never far away. It was always behind your eyes, learning to see itself through your life. You understand now that the real chosen ones aren't chosen for fame or fortune or fate. They're chosen for awareness. They are the souls who keep their eyes open when others choose to close theirs. The ones who see with compassion instead of judgment, who walk into darkness not to conquer it, but to bring light where light forgot how to go. You realize that being chosen isn't about superiority. It's about responsibility. The responsibility to notice beauty in pain, meaning in chaos, love in what once looked like loss. The world has not changed outside of you. It has changed because you began to look differently. Every sign, every synchronicity, every gaze that met yours was guiding you back here, to your own reflection, purified by understanding. The first light appeared outside, in the sky, in numbers, in glimmers. The second came through others, in faces and eyes that mirrored your growth. The third rose within you, turning your own vision into a sanctuary. And now, this final light radiates through everything you do. You've stepped into the rare awareness where every blink is a prayer and every look is creation. The eyes of the chosen ones don't just see, they remember. They remember the truth hidden behind illusion, the soul behind the surface, the unity behind separation. And as you carry this forward, you will find that you no longer search for confirmation. You live as it. You no longer beg the heavens for signs. You are the sign, walking, breathing, choosing, shining. So when you wake tomorrow, take a moment before the world rushes in. Open your eyes slowly and know that heaven is watching the sun rise through you. Every new glance you take is another opportunity for the divine to witness itself again. Let your sight be sacred. Let your attention be prayer. Let your vision shape reality in alignment with love, truth, and awareness. And if this message found you, it's because it was meant to. You didn't stumble here by chance. You were called to remember what you already knew, that your vision is holy, that your perception is power, and that the angels do not hover above you. They move through your eyes every time you choose to see with light. Thank you for walking through this journey of sight, truth, and awakening. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe, share your reflections, and keep this space alive with awareness. Because somewhere out there, another soul is waiting for a single moment of light. And maybe, just maybe, that light will reach them through your eyes. Until we meet again, keep seeing, keep remembering, and never forget. The chosen ones do not wait for miracles. They become them.